In the quiet glow of a Los Angeles evening, everything seemed perfect on the surface. Rihanna, known to millions as RiRi, had just wrapped up a private studio session. Her voice still lingered in the air, soft yet powerful, echoing the strength she had always carried. But that night, something felt different. There was a tension she couldn't explain. And then, her phone lit up. It was a message from A$AP Rocky. At first, she smiled. That familiar warmth, that spark only he could bring, it was still there. But as she opened the message, her expression slowly changed. Her eyes moved across the screen once, then again, as if hoping the words would somehow rearrange themselves into something less painful. But they didn't. The room went silent. What she had just read, it wasn't just unexpected, it was earth-shattering. The bombshell. According to the message, Rocky had been hiding something. Something big. Something that changed everything. He explained that for months, he had been dealing with a situation he didn't know how to tell her about. A decision, a commitment, something that had grown beyond his control. He said he never meant to hurt her, but he knew this would. And just like that, the world RiRi thought she understood, began to collapse. Her hands trembled. "Why didn't you tell me?" she whispered into the empty room, her voice cracking under the weight of disbelief. The pain hit instantly, but it wasn't loud. It was quiet. Heavy. Suffocating. The moment it broke her. RiRi tried to stay strong. That's who she's always been. Strong, composed, unshaken. But this? This was different. Her knees gave out as she sank onto the edge of the couch, clutching her phone like it was the only thing connecting her to reality. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring the words she had just read. And then, they fell. Uncontrollably. One after another. There was no holding back. This wasn't just sadness, it was heartbreak. Confusion and betrayal colliding all at once. "How could you keep this from me?" she cried, her voice barely audible. The silence that followed was louder than any argument. Flashbacks of love. As the tears streamed down her face, memories rushed in, moments that once felt unbreakable. Late-night talks. Laughing until sunrise. The way he looked at her like she was the only person in the world. The promises, the plans, the future they had quietly built together. Was it all real? Or had this secret been living between them the whole time? She replayed every recent conversation in her mind, searching for signs she might have missed. A shift in his tone. A moment of hesitation. Anything. But nothing could have prepared her for this. Rocky sighed. Miles away, A$AP Rocky wasn't at peace either. Sources close to him say he had been struggling for weeks, even months, trying to find the right moment to come clean. He knew the truth would hurt her, but keeping it hidden felt even worse. He had typed that message 100 times before finally sending it. And the moment he did, he knew there was no going back. He never wanted it to happen like this, a close friend allegedly revealed. But he was scared. Scared of losing her. The emotional collapse. Back in her home, RiRi couldn't stop crying. Her makeup, once flawless, was now streaked with tears. Her breathing became uneven, her chest tightening as reality settled in. She tried calling him. No answer. Again. Still nothing. That silence, it was unbearable. It felt like confirmation of everything she feared. And that's when it hit her the hardest. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was real. A love on the edge. For years, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky had been seen as one of the most powerful, authentic couples in the world. Their chemistry was undeniable. Their connection, deep, rare, and inspiring. But now, everything stood on the edge. Could love survive something like this? Could trust be rebuilt? After such a shocking revelation? Or was this the moment everything truly began to fall apart? The unanswered question. As the night grew darker, RiRi sat alone, her tears finally slowing but her heart still racing. Her phone rested beside her, silent. Waiting. For an explanation. For a call. For anything that could make sense of the chaos she was feeling. But nothing came. And in that silence, one question echoed louder than anything else. Was this the end, or just the beginning of something even more painful? The lights inside the private suite dimmed as the final note of the song echoed through the room. Rihanna, known to the world as RiRi, sat frozen on the velvet couch, her fingers trembling slightly as they clutched her phone. Across from her stood A$AP Rocky, unusually quiet, unusually distant. And that's when everything changed. The moment everything fell apart. Rocky began, his voice low, almost uncertain. That alone was enough to send a chill through her body. He never hesitated. Never. Rihanna slowly lifted her gaze, her eyes searching his face for answers before he even spoke them. "What is it?" she asked softly. There was a pause. A long, unbearable pause. Then. "I've been offered something big. But it means I'll have to leave. For a long time." Silence. At first, it didn't even register. "Leave, where?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Rocky exhaled deeply, running his hand through his braids. "Europe. Maybe longer. It's a full creative deal, albums, fashion, film, everything. But they want full commitment. No distractions. No distractions." Those words hit harder than anything else. The bombshell that shattered her. Rihanna's heart dropped. "No distractions," she repeated, her voice cracking now. Rocky looked away. "That's what they said, and I agreed." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. "You agreed?" she said, standing up slowly, as if her legs didn't quite belong to her anymore. "I had to, Ri. This is once in a lifetime." Her eyes filled instantly. "And what about us?" she asked, her voice shaking uncontrollably. Rocky hesitated again, and that hesitation was louder than any answer he could have given. RiRi breaks down. That was it. That was the moment everything inside her collapsed. Tears welled up, spilling over before she could even stop them. Rihanna turned away, pressing her hand against her mouth as a sob escaped her chest. "Wow," she whispered through tears. "So that's it? I'm a distraction now?" "Don't say it like that." "How should I say it, Rocky?" she snapped, her voice rising, breaking. "You just told me you chose a deal over us."